In January 2020, everything changed. My productivity went through the roof. I was suddenly able to keep track of long-term tasks and milestones. I didn't lose ideas, and I was able to even get things done that I tasked myself months beforehand. Even my assistant said that she could tell that I was much more on point, on task, and able to get things done in a more timely fashion. So what was I doing that changed so much? It's not magic, it's bullet journaling. We know that the human mind works better when writing. The physical act of writing something down uses more of our brain, which means we remember it better and it has a greater impression upon us. But I'd used physical systems before. I had a passion planner, I've had other just notebooks that I would use for tasking. Things were always getting lost. I know you have felt the same way. You have a scratch paper here, a notebook there, a chalkboard over here if you're old school like me. I had switched to digital because I wanted everything in one place and I wanted to be able to task myself into the future. But with digital, things were out of sight, out of mind, and I quickly forgot that the system even existed. And so my partner introduced me to bullet journaling. This is a system that not only keeps track of your tasks, it keeps track of your projects and ideas and, honestly, your doodles. But it's a system so you don't lose things. And that is what made it so powerful for me. I knew if I wrote things down, I was more likely to get them done. But oftentimes I wouldn't get everything done in a day, and then I would lose the things or lose the idea for 3 months into the future because there was nowhere to put it. Bullet journaling solves that problem. Now, there are plenty of how-to videos out on YouTube about bullet journaling, so I'm not going to get into the how-to of bullet journaling or even the concept of bullet journaling. Instead, I want to tell you my top 3 favorite features of bullet journaling for entrepreneurs. The future log is incredible. It seems simple. It's just basically a physical calendar that goes into the future, but the future log means that you can task your future self, and it's a reference point so that you can see what's coming up in the coming months. It stores ideas and it also stores peace of mind. My future log guarantees that I am getting things done, even though it's 6 months down the road. I know I'm not going to lose it. I know I'm not going to forget about it because it's in the digital format and it's out of sight, out of mind. I know for sure that it's going to get done. The reason that I love migration is because it is a system for review and processing to make sure that things aren't getting lost. So say, for example, that you decide to task yourself something enormous today and you only get half of it done. What happens next? In a digital format, you wouldn't change much, if at all, on the task. I know that some of you are saying that you would and that you would put notes in, but would you really? In the bullet journal, you would put a slash next to the task so you would know that it had been started, but through the process of migration, you would be able to move it to the next day. As a result of migration, you also are very clear on, do I have enough energy today to do the other things? Or do I need to make space for the thing that I didn't get done? What I noticed with the digital task manager is that it just starts piling up and it all feels really overwhelming because this task didn't get done on time and now it's in the way of the other tasks that you wanted to get done tomorrow or the next day. And so instead of feeling really productive and in control, you feel overwhelmed, which leads right into the third feature that I love. The weekly log is the staging area for your week. So it's where you pull from the future log, from the monthly log, from everywhere else in your bullet journal, and perhaps from a digital platform, and disperse everything across the week. What I love about the weekly log is that because it's on paper, it means there's a limited number of spaces, which I use to signify how much energy and possible tasking I can do in a day. In the same space also goes my meetings and appointments. And so if I have a stacked day full of meetings and appointments, I don't have a lot of room left in the physical notebook on that physical page to write in more tasks, which means that I then can't overwhelm myself because I have so many meetings and then I also had so many deadlines. I found that a digital platform just couldn't put those two things together, at least not the way that I was using it. I would set deadlines for myself, but I would have to check and double check between my calendar to see if I would even have the space on that day. And then my calendar would be changing throughout the days and weeks. And so then if I thought I had time to do something on a day, it wouldn't actually be true anymore. And again, things just would get overwhelming and I would feel defeated, even though I thought I had done the work to ensure that it was possible. I'm calling this a bonus feature because this is actually not a feature of the bullet journal. This is a getting things done feature. So if you've read the book Getting Things Done, you will recognize this feature. It is the someday maybe spread or idea. So it is a place where you write down your ideas, especially the outlandish wild ones, and they can incubate. You can add to them, you can shift them, you can change them, but it's in a space where they don't have to become tasks. So they're not just like floating in the ether in your task platform and never getting done or never getting progressed. And it's a space to play. So you really can decide if you want to launch that podcast or get really clear if it's time to launch the next arm of your business. I have all kinds of ideas in there, ranging from, yes, another podcast, to other businesses or even apps. Now, if you're curious about how all of this works for an entrepreneur, especially if you're using a tandem digital system, I have designed a bullet journaling for entrepreneurs course. This course teaches you how to use the bullet journal as an entrepreneur to optimize your business, as well as use it in tandem with the digital space, because you're going to be using a calendar scheduler and a digital task manager, especially if you have a team. So you have to know how to use both of these in tandem, but it's totally possible. I've been doing it for 2 years with incredible results, and I want to teach that to you. So if you're curious about learning bullet journaling, but more in particular, you're learning to bullet journal in a way that supports your business, I'd love to invite you in. There's a discount code in the description that you can grab. I started bullet journaling in January of 2020. It was a great way to kick off my year, and it made 2020, despite the trials and tribulations we had, my ability to focus and get things done was out of this world. I actually don't know how I would have gotten through 2020 without a bullet journal to help me stay grounded. So what about you? Do you bullet journal? Have you tried bullet journaling? I'd love to hear from you. Definitely comment below about your experiences. And if you found this video interesting, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up because that tells me that this was the type of content you're looking for. See you next time.